At age 16, Fox Varian underwent transgender surgery, having her healthy breast removed. Now she is no longer identifying against her biological sex, and she just made legal history after a jury awarded her $2 million. Trey, this is a story that really could change everything when it comes to children and this transgender industry. Can you tell us a little bit more about the backstory?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The story is really insane. So, Fox Varian is now 22 years old. As you said, she was 16 years old when she had a double mastectomy of her completely, as you mentioned, healthy breasts because she identified as transgender again as a 16-year-old. By the time she was 19, because she filed this lawsuit in 2023, by the time she was 19, she came to fully regret that decision, no longer identified as male, but returned to identifying with the sex she was born with as a female. But nonetheless, her psychologist and her plastic surgeon at 16 years old, they agreed to go through with this procedure. And not only was she awarded for damages and, of course, the trauma that all of this caused her, but the jury in Westchester County, New York, they ultimately found the psychologist, Kenneth Einhorn, and the plastic surgeon, Simon Chin, legally liable for malpractice. So I think you're absolutely right that this is a case that could set some major precedent because Fox is not the only one who's filed a lawsuit like this. There are others. We've covered them here at CBN News. There are other detransitioners, and there are several of those individuals who have filed lawsuits, and they're working their way through the legal system. So I fully believe that this case is going to set their trajectory for future cases, and is something that I think doctors, psychiatrists who affirm this kind of treatment, they better start thinking twice because I don't think this is the last time we're going to see a victory like this.
Yeah, and I think the fact that you have these other cases, I mean, this is how you end something like this.
Totally.
You need to see these kinds of victories because what happens is the parents, as you were stating here, the parents are told because a lot of people will say, well, how does a parent go along with this? And I think that's a legitimate question to ask. But a lot of them are so fearful. They're told by a psychologist and a medical doctor, people that they're supposed to trust in the middle of chaos with their children, in the middle of the unthinkable. Their child thinks they're another gender. They're being told if you don't do this, they're going to kill themselves. So you're a terrible parent if you don't do this because they will die and it will be your fault. And so I think a lot of people still might not resonate or understand how it happens. But the point is, it becomes this emotional manipulation, even if the doctor or the psychologist believe they're doing the right thing by encouraging that. And so how do you stop this? It's a case like this that could end the entire thing because all these other cases that are coming now, Chloe Cole and these other individuals, formerly transgender identifying individuals, I think you're going to see a lot more happen there. And spiritually, there's a lot happening with this topic, obviously, but practically the fact that this was happening to children when children can't do plenty of other things under a certain age is so wild to me. I'm actually encouraged and interested to see where this goes next. Trey, I'll give you the final word on this.
Well, I think you're absolutely right about parents being they've been backed up against a wall, right? They're between a rock and a hard place. They are essentially in a situation where even if it's for good reason, as in the psychologist fully believes they're doing the right thing, they're holding these children hostage. It's like either do this or they're probably going to take their life. And to your point, of course, any parent is going to want to do what they can to preserve their children's lives, even if it means significantly and permanently altering their bodies. And to that point, according to the lawsuit and testimony that was given throughout this 3-week trial, Varian's psychologist was accused of, quote, putting the idea in Fox's head that she needed to permanently and aggressively change her body in order to successfully live a happy life. The mother, of course, opposed it, but she did eventually relent and she agreed. But she ultimately said now, in retrospect, I can see that both the psychologist and the plastic surgeon were very, very wrong in what they did. So I think that it is encouraging to see light finally being shed on this issue, kind of the scales falling off people's eyes. So this is a big case. It's a big win, of course, for Fox Varian, but I think it's a big win culturally because it's put this issue front and center, and hopefully it'll lead to some success in future cases.
Yeah, and people can go and read more about this over at Faithwire and CBN News. Trey, thanks for your time.